Hey, I want to talk to you guys about how to manifest at the speed of light. So on my last video, I talked about Shonomoto and why greed is not the best way to manifest, and why that is not a good word choice to use, and how to be intentful with your words. Because once you learn how to be intentful in your life and the choices that you make, and where that will lead you and where you could go, not just on a physical level, but on a spiritual level, and you understand how it also affects the people around you, you can manifest at the speed of light. Because once you can do it out of love, intense love for yourself and for others, that is when you can manifest at the speed of light. AKA, love your neighbor as yourself, because as much as you love yourself is as much as you can love your neighbor. And so you gotta really focus on loving yourself a lot, because as deep as you go within yourself is as deep as you can go with your neighbor, aka people around you, and all this stuff, as well as them and how they see you, because you will be able to meet those people who see you as deeply as you see yourself as well. And those moments are beautiful when you see and meet those people and who see you as much as you love yourself. You know, let's say there's things that you wish that you could see, like you see that people can see auras, this or that, and whatnot. All you can do is love yourself enough and be like, it's okay that I don't have the power of seeing auras, which I don't, to the extent that other people do. And I love myself for that. I love myself for what level of that power that I have, aka being able to see the colors of people's energy fields. It takes me a little bit more effort to see people's auras. I have seen an aura once or twice in my life of somebody, and it was a beautiful experience, but I don't see auras all the time. Like, that would be widely distracting to physically see someone's aura all the time. I have seen someone's aura. It was beautiful and green, and it just illuminated from his soul body. And I do hold to the conceptualization that veganism is a superpower. It really transcends, like, it's a diet that really helps you transcend and elevate, to another level in your spiritual path, or even help you speed run a section. Um, and it really does open up your mind to seeing more spiritual things, um, if you want to get to that next level. And you can fast on, for example, if you're going from a Christian standpoint, um, if you want, you can ask God, what are your spiritual powers? And there's a whole list of spiritual powers in the Bible. You can look into it, and you can ask the universe, God. I get particular because, you if you really want to hone in and focus on the Bible, really hone it and focus on the Bible, God can show you all the different powers you have, and you'll be shocked. A lot of people will be like, oh, I have one, I have two. Sometimes as God learns, as you trust and believe in God more and more, the more he'll reveal to you of how much you actually have, and he will evolve your spiritual powers and what they look like. People will be like, there's worldly and there's this and that and whatnot. The thing is that Satan has counterfeit, right? For example, there's the negative, there's a darker aspect of how to use it, the dark energy of how to use it. But then there's God's energy, because he's infinite. If God's infinite, even Satan comes to him for permission for things. AKA, the negative energy has to come to him, has to come to the light for permission to challenge you. AKA Book of Job. Um, and it's you that's, if you want to think it's you that's challenging you, so you have more control. The thing is, like, you have, no matter what, you ask the higher power, ask God, you know. And I'm just using these different terms for people of different um, positions in this world, because everyone's using different terms um, for different things. And whatever you need, realize there's a worldly version and then there's a mimic. And, by worldly version I mean mimic, sorry. There's a worldly version and there's a biblical version. And once you started using, and once you realize the power in the words that you use, aka let's say you go deep into the Hebrew, get deep into the Greek, you get deep into the Roman, you know how to utilize different things, you know how to discern, and you know how to utilize the tools. You're allowed to use psychology, you're allowed to use science, you're allowed to test the spirits in order to calm yourself down. You can use exercise, you can use acupuncture, you can use all these different things, but once you understand that it's not just you, a lot of people like to say that we're co-creators. Yes, we are co-creators with each other. Do prayer. We're all a church. We're all one body, aka we're all co-creators, if you want to say that. We are all trying to shift the universe to build that new earth with Jesus, and trying to bring people to a realization that we're all connected to the infinite God. We're all connected to Him, and that it starts within. It literally does start within. And within your personal relationship with Jesus, it starts within. Your personal relationship with the Creator, the infinite, eternal God. And why I decided to focus on Him after my long journey of, I researched so much stuff. It all started with music, when music was saying that a lot of musicians always tend to state that they sold themselves to the devil, and I thought it got like the pattern kept coming and coming, where it even reached like an indie artist that I really liked listening to, who sold himself out, and it's called He's Never Shout Never. And I watched his journey, and he sang a song where he's like, I sold myself to the devil, and I was like, why does this keep popping up? And I had to research, and I realized how deep and dark the music industry is. And the whole thing where people are saying I sold myself to the Illuminati is just a fancy word. If you want to make it simple, fancy word for, let's just shorten it and simplify it, to Satan. And the reason why I like the Bible is that it simplifies the things that are very complex in nature. And and when you need a simpler walk through life to get to the narrow way, the Bible does it. But then you can get so lost and get so anal and so perfectionistic with, I must follow all these rules, and I must always follow the 10 Commandments, and I must be perfect so I go to heaven. That's where you fall through, because what relaxes you is that Jesus died for our sins. Jesus, you're not, and it makes it easier because it's like, you're not Jesus. You don't have to have all that weight on you. And once you realize and have that love for yourself, and you recognize that nothing in this world is perfect, and it's up to you to choose joy and laughter. It's up to you to choose to focus on the fruits of the Spirit, of joy, laughter, being a child again, because only once you become a child again may you enter heaven. And heaven starts now because God's eternal. And once you give yourself to Jesus, your peace starts now. And you can understand that, yes, you can use meditation. Yes, you can explore all of these things out there in the world if you need to understand how dangerous spirit ties are, how dangerous all these things are, and how they will not satisfy you. And what will satisfy you is helping the people have the knowledge so they do not perish. Helping the people understand how easy it is to slip through and forget that you came on this planet to have a similar experience to Jesus. Not to thusly be crucified because, for the sake, but you came on this planet to experience love, to feel that peace within, even amidst the storms around you. And you have to use the tools at hand in this world wisely in order to keep that peace within you. So, I hope I shared the point of this video. Let me see. Oh, love manifests faster than light. And so, why love manifests faster than light, which I've seen with my own eyes. I realized I tested this before even, without even realizing, but I was meditating, aka I prayed to God, what does faith move mountains look like? I asked him, can you show me? If I have faith as small as a mustard seed and it moves mountains, how and what does that look like? And truly, faith is the biggest test. If you want to go beyond love. My friend said that love is what moves mountains. Yes. When you love your God with all your body, soul, and mind, because you got to love God first. That is the first part of the equation. In the greatest commandment that Jesus has said. And when you understand that fully, is that means you have to love the unknown creator that all of us are connected to. Everyone's connected to. Some people get stuck at, I only worship myself. That's a place to get stuck at. Other people get stuck at, we all are co-creators. Okay? Do you love everyone? Okay. But that's not what you're supposed to love first. You're supposed to love the Godhead of everyone. If you want to use Indian language or religion, Brahmin. If you want to use Shinto, slash Animism, you want to love the energy that interconnects all those spirits, including your own soul. If you want to use atheism, you want to connect to the Higgs boson or something like that, because the Higgs boson, it just it disappears and appears, it disappears and appears, it disappears and appears, and that's why they call it the God particle, because it's so small, but it interconnects between all of us in the quantum field or whatever. And then you want to think, what is beyond? Is there something beyond the Higgs boson that we do not know? Do we even understand dark matter? Does science even understand anything? So you have to trust in the unknown beyond that. Because science isn't the end all be all. Because it only reveals as much as the technology we have at hand allows us to. So you're limited as much as your soul is. And if you want to attach your soul or non-soul in your body just to that limitation, then that's where you're stuck. You're stuck at the primal. But if you want to go beyond that and actualize, then you can really move mountains. And I tested this out with this one guy. I wanted to see how far my prayers can go and how far energy connection can go. And when I realized God is infinite, that means he connects everything. So yes, I can use the knowledge of science of quantum to heal and ask God to work through that miraculously, knowing the knowledge of the Higgs boson. And then, knowing that humans are all, we're all made of these cells, including the Higgs boson. Why can't this Higgs boson then connect to him? Because I notice that his energy is close to my energy and that we tend to mimic each other, even though it's over a long period and stretch of time. Is there a way to manifest immediately that his life shifts? He gets the audience that he wants on YouTube, and I can see it in real time. I have literal, I can have literal documentation, and write run through what I did and the timing and whatnot if I want to. And you can only do this through love. Hate manifests so slowly and imperfectly, and it lacks, and it doesn't last. It falls apart. It is what God says, a house made on sand, a house made on panic, a house made on chaos that will fall through at any point. If you build it off of love, God can manifest that foundation to be made out of stone on a beautiful, stable land as quickly as possible. And the thing is that, let's say you made it out of hate, you made it out of panic, you made it out of greed. That's a house built off of sand. And why that's dangerous is even if you took a long time to build that and diligently, you can still build diligently and all of this stuff, but still out of all of those fear-based emotions, and it can still fall apart tomorrow. The reason why a house built off of love doesn't fall apart tomorrow is because you're doing it out of something you're passionate about, and you're building it off of a foundation of people that actually love you. Because if you were true to yourself